Alrighty, so this is the first episode of the Trip Whip podcast. I got two guys I've really wanted to talk to for a long time. Well, I talked to Davey once before, and now I got Jaret on with me. He's from the TikTok Solar Jaret, super quality. And if you go onto TikTok, he's probably uploaded something new in the middle of this podcast. He is always uploading content. Definitely want to dive into the stuff he talks about. And Davey, I don't know, he's not uploading, hasn't been uploading for a while, but he's planning on smashing out some content soon. And
this was the beginning back, baby.
Good, finally, because this dude, he's awesome to chat to. A deep tripper like myself, likes some pretty out there stuff. So yeah, Jaret, I'll go into it first with you, man, because I've seen a few of your TikToks, and well, quite a few. They're coming up on my feed pretty much every day, and I'm really down for a lot of the stuff you're saying, because it's not really like the popular notion in like the spiritual community. Something I've always been saying is like, you know, like when I started tripping, there was this strong pull for me to go and do like internal work. And I found myself withdrawing from like, you know, my job and study and stuff like this. And at the time, I didn't really think anything of it, because I was like, man, I'm just walking a spiritual path. And then at some point, my mind changed on that. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the issues with the modern spiritual community is that we do kind of separate, you know, the spiritual realm and the outside physical realm. And, you know, I'm under the impression that they're not exactly two different things. I'm curious, I know your journey has started in a similar place. So were you always spiritual, or was there something that kind of awoke it for you?
Well, like I was raised Christian.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so I was raised, I played drums at church for like a decade.
Wow.
But basically what happened was when I was 17, I started doing steroids, and I was got big into bodybuilding. I was a 250-pound bodybuilder at 19 years old.
Dang, very nice.
Around my 21st birthday, I did LSD for the first time. And I didn't even do like a huge dose. I didn't have some big crazy experience. I just had a good time. And I woke up the next day and I never did steroids again. I quit the gym, dropped all my personal training clients, and I just went down this journey, started doing mushrooms 3 times a week. And here we are. You know, I went deep into like spirituality, meditation, yoga, studying Zen, studying Buddhism, Hinduism, all this stuff. But eventually I got to the point where I realized the most spiritual thing I can do is to fully embody my human experience. Like it got old really quick, like just using the fact that I'm a soul having the human experience as an excuse to not do anything. It's like, dude, the point is human experience. I'm in it right now. Yes. Like I have so much time to go live in these other realms, but I'm in the body right now, so I'm gonna fully embody it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's obviously a reason for it, because there's so many like people that refer to our relationship with this like consciousness as well, the one I normally draw on is it's like the video game player to the character. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And it's like so many people then are like, all right, well, fuck this character, fuck this world. Let's go and, you know, get in touch with the player. It's like the player is trying to play a video game then. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're turning the game off for him. He wants to have some fun here. He's trying to get engaged with the world. Just do whatever you want. And I think that's the thing. Yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of afraid. And I think they're using spirituality as an excuse to kind of escape from their true desires and kind of just actually submit to their fear.
Yes, bro. It's modern day escapism. If you take a certain, it's like trauma. How everybody's still talking about their trauma. Yeah,
for sure.
Like I think the TikTok comments I get blow my fucking mind. Like I'm talking about something so practical, so simple. Not for those of us with trauma. What are you talking about? It's so just true. Like. It's a form of escapism, and it's an excuse. Listen, people are fucking lazy. People don't want to put in the work. People don't want to fail. People don't want to strive towards something, and they want to put an excuse out there. They want to blame the system. Oh, the system's fucked me up. Oh, this, that. And I have no time for those excuses anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
think
letting the system chew you up and spit you out, but you should play the system. Like make the system your bitch, you know? Like
yes,
it.
yeah.
yeah. And once you go back to the player, be like, man, I played the fuck out of that game. Like I absolutely crushed it, you know? Like I didn't,
Yeah.
dude, I feel that though, what you're saying. Like it's literally this, like for some reason, we fucking woke up here. We're in an avatar pretending this is all completely normal. And I get trauma is real, but the fucking human experience is trauma, right? And so like to be like, I don't mess with money. That's a part of the fucking system. Like, yeah, you're a part of the system. Like fucking beat the shit out of that system, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think it takes form like all sorts of aspects, because it is like you get a lot of these spiritual people, which like I feel like the fundamental message of spirituality should kind of just be like love, and like everything else is illusion sort of thing. And
Conscious
then
and love.
yeah, but then there's so much hate involved in the spiritual community as well.
God.
It's ridiculous. It's so much like conspiracy theories, so much propaganda going on. And it's like, oh man, you followed this system, you're this type of person. Obviously, I know you boys are really big into meat eating. I'm sure you get a lot of hate just for meat eating, because obviously the spiritual community is very much against that. Yeah.
They've all unfollowed me at this point.
And get hate from the meat eaters. I get hate from the meat eaters and the fucking vegans, dude. There's no winning. You know, I'm not here to make no one happy.
Why do you get hate from the meat eaters?
Dude, you fucking, you know, you throw a salad in there once in a while and you're fucking the devil.
I know. That's oh my God. It's so fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Carnivore ain't for me.
You know, Trip Whip, you're catching me in an interesting time, because I give no fucks. Like I am just like I have stepped into a hyper masculine version of myself lately. Like I'm very competitive. Like like I'm in a funny spot right now. I'm in a funny spot because like I'm all for the like love and all of that, but the way I look at it, it's like behind this body, we're all the same. We're all the same thing. Same. We're all the universe. We're all one soul. But in this body, it's not the fucking same. We're all making different decisions and taking different paths and choosing different priorities and different moral compasses that we follow. And I'm not gonna align with every single human being. That's just, at this point in my life, that's where it is. You know what I mean? Like not everybody's gonna resonate with me. Not everybody's gonna want to hold my hand. Not everybody's gonna want to, you know, hear what I have to say. Some people are just gonna be completely turned off by me, and I have to be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a part of being your absolute most authentic self. And that's the thing, is like you can't appease everybody. And when you try to do that, that's when you do lose yourself. Because I do obviously get, you know, comments. Like I used to share this message of like, you can do whatever you want. Like that was one of the things that I just like felt when I was tripping balls on acid. I was like, you can do whatever you want, go for it. And I just made a video and started sharing it. And then obviously a lot of the messages I got was, well, you can't do anything you want. Like, that's ridiculous. It's like, there are people here who, because you can do whatever you want, you can feel however you want as well. And then there are people who are saying, you know, that's all well and good for a privileged person, but what about somebody who's experienced like trauma or something like that? And like, don't get me wrong, I haven't experienced any major trauma in my life. Like I'm out of my field when I'm talking about that sort of stuff. But at the same time, like, and I appreciate it'd be way more difficult if you had gone through that stuff. But that voice that tells you to reject that message is the trauma holding you back, sort of thing. It's like, if you want to put it as trauma, it's negative thinking that just, if you're going to experience something positive, throw it out in the world and you're only met with negativity, obviously that's a person holding themselves back because they're not ready to receive that message. So part of being authentic is you just got to say what you want to say, not care what people think. And that's the only way that you can kind of elevate people who are on your level. You're reinforcing the sort of thoughts that they're already thinking, but they're not quite sure about. You hear it from somebody else and you're like, fuck yeah. Like I'm listening to you, Jaret, and I'm like, fuck, like, you know what? I feel these things as well. Like I'm a fucking competitive person. I got a lot of shit inside me where I'm just like, I want to push through. I want to conquer. I want to dominate. And you know what? There's a part of me that's ashamed to say it in this society, but that's the truth. That's this energy that's surging through me. I just want to do it. You know?
Yeah, own it, brother. Dude, we're fucking men. We're warriors. What have we been doing since the beginning of time, before the internet tried to cancel everybody? What have we been doing since the beginning of time? We've been like, I made a video today, real quick. I made a video today and I said, the reason we admire nature is because nature fully embodies its experience, no matter how that looks. And for a lion, sometimes that looks like ripping off a baby gazelle's face in front of its mother. That is Zen. That is as spiritual as it gets. Right. That's as spiritual as it gets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can do that politely. That's how I look at business. That's how I look at social media. It's like friendly competition. It's like, I love you. I'm not going to slice your head off, but I'm going to crush your fucking face business-wise. Yes. You know what I mean? Totally. Like, it's just fun. We have to have an outlet. That's why so many people love boxing and martial arts and lifting weights. Because we as men live in such a soft society now, but we have that in us. We have that competitive nature in us that conquer and dominate.
Wait, are you guys trying to say you're not feminist? Because I'll just leave. No, I'm just no, I think one of the things I noticed about the spiritual community right away is it's very like fucking feminist. Like, and I was, even like Aubrey Marcus, right? He's a big figure in the world. But, that's a fucking multi-millionaire. It's a whole different vibe. But the same, like when I met Jaret, like, I feel like the universe, I don't know if it's like destiny or like, I'm just intertwining with people that are similar to me, but like, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for fucking 14 years. I've never been like, a feminist by any means. Like, I listen to Jordan Peterson, get hated on for that. It's like the thing. It's like, don't be a fucking weak person, a weak man, even like, become a strong man and then control that monster, like control that beast. And that's how you fucking really protect people,
Out of curiosity, are both you guys into martial arts?
I've been my whole life.
Yeah. Back when I was bodybuilding, I did jiu-jitsu for about 2 years, but I haven't practiced in years.
True.
My dad's a boxing trainer. My brother was a professional kickboxer. So I just took up grappling because they could fucking punch my head off. So I figured it out.
Yeah, smart. Hell yeah.
I never miss a UFC. Like I'm very not like a hippie person, as I have love tattooed on my wrist. But it's like it's the balance. Like when I take psychedelics, I'm very much like love. And then like when it comes to work or something, I'm like, try to outwork me. That thing kicks in.
Right, and then you're like, don't upload for like 8 months.
Yeah, because I've been working, dude.
Nah, I'm joking, bro.
No, you're not wrong though.
You're running laps around you, Davey. You're running laps, bro.
And my crypto's down, dude. I don't got nothing.
No, it's true. There is this like I'm seeing it all around. This like surge of masculine energy coming through. And it's obviously been suppressed for ages. Like I love martial arts. I love watching it. I love Muay Thai. I want to get into grappling next. And I feel like, there's going to be like a new image of, I don't know what it is. Like it's like spirituality is kind of like merging with this masculine energy. Cause like, I feel like oh, sorry, go on, man.
They're just trying, I feel like they're trying to stop it so much. I mean, I know you're in Australia, which is very similar to America, but like, dude, you like everybody, and I'm not trying to become like somebody who's fat shame or something, but like I always see the thing like, oh, you're big and beautiful. It's like you're out of shape is what you are, and you're unhealthy. Like I'm not being rude,
you're
but
dying.
like I'm not gonna fucking be, yeah, exactly. You're dying. We have time ticking on us, and the better shape you are in, more likely the better you're gonna last. But I have like, I have family members that are like vegan. I'm like, dude, you ate Oreos all day. What are we fucking talking about here?
It's bro. I probably shouldn't even go there.
Honestly,
I'm gonna come
cut
off
this
like
out.
super asshole-ish here in a minute.
Yeah. No, I kind of want to like go a little bit into it because I'm curious. Like I'm not like strictly meat eating at all, and like I throw tofu in the diet every now and then. So
don't just eat meat anyways. If you're fucking doing good, do you? If you're feeling healthy and you look, you're not fucking gasping for air, do your thing.
Right. So what is the obsession with just like eating meat though? Like, is it?
It's not about It's not about. It's
a feeling for me.
It's about awakening to the truth about the human diet and what we evolved eating and what's actually healthy. I mean, this runs deep. I mean, if we want to go like full conspiracy theory, we could go.
It's there. It's there.
Let's go.
I mean, we could go really deep. I mean, like if everybody knew that all you needed was steak and eggs and fucking raw dairy and fruit, then these big corporations, because it's a couple massive corporations that own all of the food in the grocery store that's in boxes, right? And especially all this new vegan meat and all this shit. That is how they're making money. They don't profit off of me driving to Ann Arbor and going to the farmer's market and buying grass-fed buffalo and local strawberries. They're not making any money off of that. So the more they can demonize this, which is what's been going on, right? So it's just awakening to like what's healthy. And for me, I don't eat this way because of an ideology. I genuinely was broken. I felt like shit. My body was falling apart. I wasn't feeling good. I had no energy. I said, okay, I need to make a change. I tried out an animal-based diet, and it's been working for me for like almost a year. And that's just my thing. I don't even make content about it anymore. You know, I went through a little phase where, you know, you saw Davey, where I was just blasted in all day, eating raw liver.
We were calling you fucking baby liver king around here, dude.
Oh, bro, I lost 1,000 followers.
Of hot vegan girls for sure, dude. They all.
Oh, dude, all these vegan chicks, bro. And people went to war in my comment section. But you know, it's just about. For me, my whole thing is like reclaiming the power that we've lost. I think that's how we actually flip the system that everybody's complaining about, the system. That's how we flip it on its head, is when we no longer need it. So when we're no longer consuming their food and cashing their paychecks from their corporate jobs and taking their pharmaceutical drugs and watching their news, that's when we flip it on its head. Nobody's holding a gun to our head, making us participate in this system.
They don't have to. They just
we're
so sad.
We're just relying on it because it's comfortable, and we're just so brainwashed into this 9-to-5, exchange your time for a paycheck and go waste it on fucking bullshit food. So it's just about reclaiming your health, your finances, your consciousness, you know, all of it,
every aspect. Exactly.
Okay, so obviously you're very much about embodying you know, yourself, not getting too lost in like the internal process, but there's obviously a thought process of don't trust like the major system there. So for you, are you promoting like a lifestyle for everybody that's kind of outside of the system? And what does that look like if you are?
Yeah, I mean, I think that with the internet, everybody, sorry if I'm stealing your shine here, Davey. I feel like
I was just thinking to myself, I was like, all right, let's think of a question for Davey next.
Fuck no, dude. We got time. No, I'm interested. Okay, I'm all in it.
Sorry,
do your thing. Do your thing.
I really believe, listen, if you like have a job and you love it and you're happy, then like this doesn't apply to you. But for most people I talk to, that's not the case.
Right.
So I really firmly believe that like in the era we're living through right now, everybody can take their income into their own hands. And does that mean you're going to be a millionaire? No, you have to have real business skills to do that, right? But can you supplement what you're making at your job right now, or maybe even a little less, and like live a little bit more humbly? Yes, you 100% can do that. And it's an inside job. So you start with the spirituality, with the health, right? Like you come up with a better diet, you start meditating, maybe you do some psychedelics, you start looking within, you start day by day making different decisions, and that's going to start to manifest in your outer world. And then you can find out, okay, what can I offer the world? And you can start making content and making some kind of life around that and making money. So that's what I'm trying to help people do, is like develop tactical ideas that they can turn into a business for themselves. Because once you break free of that, you're free, whether you're making $4,000 a month or $40,000 a month. When you wake up and you're on your own schedule and you enjoy what you do, and that money isn't coming from some bullshit boss, like shit,
making them rich, you know?
Yeah, dude, life gets a lot better. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Consulting's no joke, dude. Actually, just teaching people how to fucking do their own thing is huge. It's like such a good game in that. And I don't think everyone's going to be able to do that. Some people, I don't know. I don't mean to like be rude, but I feel like some people are just like still stepping over puddles and like they're not ready to fucking swim the lake or, you know, go through the ocean yet. And it's like, that's okay. Do your thing, but build up to what Jaret's talking about, you know, at least at least fucking try to do your own thing.
Or quick side note, or partner up with somebody who does have the entrepreneurial mindset. For me, for example, I hire video editors, and these guys aren't necessarily, you know, boss up like entrepreneur type guys, but they don't have to be, because I have the container and they can contribute their piece and make money independently from a job.
Right. Yes. And I think that's absolutely like the sort of message I think I would have been putting out in the beginning if I understood the sort of stuff I was learning, because it does always start as like an internal process, and it's hard to see like the picture, like the bigger picture where it's leading to. And I think you realize everything you've been doing in your life just hasn't really been bringing you happiness, and then you want to withdraw and escape from it. But you know, I think the most important thing is that you rewire the way you look at reality. Like you can control the things you can control, and that's something you need to, you know, think about. Right there. Not everybody has business skills. Not everybody may be able to make an income from themselves. And, you know, as you're saying, Jaret, partner up with somebody, but at the very least, look at your world differently. And at the very least, you can influence the way that you perceive your reality. And that's most likely going to change your reality for you anyway. You know, for me, I think the issue with so many people is that they're so obsessed with making more money. Like we've all got this idea that money is going to bring us more happiness. You know, my dad's a decently wealthy guy, and he's fucking miserable. Like he can't hold down
that ceiling, dude. That ceiling's beautiful behind you, bro. Look at that woodwork.
I mean, he can't hold down, I mean, not to throw my dad on the bus right now, but he can't hold down like a decent relationship. And, you know, I think I saw my dad, and I saw how he did well for himself, and how, you know, money just wasn't going to give me what I wanted. And that does make you a little bit afraid of business. But if you can instead just really get in touch with what you're passionate about,
that's it, and
pursue that, that's all you actually need. And it's so scary too sometimes. Like we get this little voice in our head that's just like, man, you can't do it for this reason. Like, what if this happens? And it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why we listen to that voice? I've got people messaging me all the time who want to talk about their psychedelic experiences on their stories. And they're afraid. They're like, bro, like, you know, what do you do about work?
I'm going to trip so hard, I'm never going to go back. Oh
yeah.
No.
or just like, what if my boss finds what I was saying? You know what I mean?
Oh, and dude, once I started the podcast, people were fucking like, hey, you're telling too much. I was like, oh, I'm just getting started. Just wait.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
you think me talking about fucking doing heroin's bad? Just wait, bro. Like psychedelics have literally changed my whole life. And I'm 3 months sober, completely off weed, everything right now. And that's been a focus on mine. And this is what's trippy all of a sudden. Like even just sitting here, like, it's like, you know, I feel like I'm high now, you know, because I've been smoking weed since fucking I was 12 years old. I had a bad older brother. Like I ran the mile high in 6th grade. If that tells you fucking anything, you know, it's not good. So I just got to give my brain a break. And I think it's like Alan Watts said, find your passion. If money didn't exist, what would you do? And then do that thing to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Alan Watts once said, he's like, if you're not getting paid to play, you haven't figured out life.
Yes, that's 100% it though. That's so it. I mean, the thing is also you get good at anything and eventually you get paid for it anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, think about this. I've been editing videos and putting them out since I was 12 years old. And now I have a business where people pay me thousands of dollars to do it for them.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like, I'm not totally against like, oh, I wish I fucking knew all this stuff. I'm glad I didn't. All the stuff that I learned the hard way is what was the catapult to send me off. You know what I mean? Like you had no idea, Jaret, that you were actually working towards your fucking future, your job, you know, that you were going to run your business. And you're like, I'm just a little fucking 12-year-old fiddling my thumbs, you know?
Because that's what I felt drawn to. Like,
yes.
Everybody's like, I don't know what I'm passionate about. I'm like, what do you do when you're bored?
I have too much passion. I need to fucking pull some passion back. I'll have 7 projects going.
Right.
Like, I'm about to do stand-up comedy this week. I'm fucking gonna learn the song guitar. Like, let's fucking pump the
I
brakes.
love that.
I gotta start the recording. It's about to like time out. And then I just
I saw
restart
that. We
it.
have 7 minutes. We have 7.
Yeah, I'll just do it now so that we're not like in the middle of like a conversation or something when it happens.
Okay.
I've always just risked it for the biscuit, but I think it will time out. So watch out.
Well, we have 7.5 minutes. I mean, because it's because you don't have like the pro package.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
So that, yeah.
40 minutes at a time.
Right.
Don't trust that thing. It's lying, dude. At 7 minutes, it would still go.
Fuck it.
I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
Off at like a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I think I wouldn't mind diving into some of the psychedelic experiences you had though, for both of you guys. I know, Davey, have you got in touch with entities at all before?
Oh, dude, tons of times. I actually
Yeah.
have a fucking story to save. I'm gonna save it for this podcast. I was saving it for a while, but I'll say it later.
Yeah, let's go.
But yeah, no, this goes back to eating meat. My first experience. So I had 2 friends come over, and they're not close friends, but I was close friends with both of them, right? And we ate 5 grams of mushrooms each, and that's too fucking much for people who don't know each other. You know, I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together. This is gonna get awkward as fuck, and I'm awkward as fuck. I need to be by nobody when I'm tripping 5 grams. So right away, I'm like, I don't know if it's, kicking in. All of a sudden I stand up and I'm like, fuck the aliens. And they're like, dude, shut up. Like, I lived in an apartment at this time. I was younger. And I'm just screaming, fuck the aliens, fuck the aliens. Like, they're fucking doing something to me, right? I freak out, run outside, blah, blah. All my friends start having like a beef with each other. So I make one go in the bathroom, one go in the kitchen, and I go lay in my room. And I became every animal or every cow that I've ever ate from like the fucking grocery store, like that's on a fucking conveyor belt. And I could just feel myself getting gutted over and over. And I thought there was blood everywhere. I was for sure I pissed myself. I was like, if I'm not bleeding, I pissed myself. No, it wasn't wet at all. And the last thought I had while I was these cows dying was like, I hope somebody at least fucking eats me. And I have no idea why. But I came out. And the rest of that trip was just about like, how like I fucking eat a bunch of bread and I'm allergic to gluten and stuff. And that's how I actually got my first step into eating meat. And then so dude, I have never not met entities. It's exhausting, to be honest.
So you have an experience of like cows like dying, getting gutted,
and then
your initial response is like, yes,
this.
I need to eat some meat.
Yo, dude, as the cow brain, I was like, man, I just hope someone at least eats me at the very least. Like, my life wasn't fucking pointless. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But then but yeah, now I, like Jaret said, I only eat butchered meat. Like, I go to a butcher. I can't imagine what it'd be like this time. But yeah, dude. And it always ends. Most of my trips always end with some fucking 4 little alien type figures doing something to my brain, letting me know that this experience is not completely real. You know, we're just here. This is as much as a dream to us. And I've actually heard Jaret talk about it lovely. Even if this isn't real, but you're still fucking here. We're going to wake up tomorrow. This dream is, it's consistent at the very least.
Right. So
even if it doesn't matter, it matters to us. And those fucking aliens in my dream or trip always get me. And they're always working on me. They show me the pyramid and then I beg to fucking forget something and I pop out almost literally every time.
Well, that's a big thing as well. If your reality is kind of a dream, like what do you want to do in a dream? Like it's not like you want to just wake up. It's like, no, I remember this is a dream. I want to get lucid. I want to fly around. I want to do some, I want to do some sick shit. Yeah.
Do good in the stream. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, I've also had trips where I don't see entities, I've had trips where, like Jaret said, we have a very similar story. I was on hard drugs my whole life, took acid, and then I woke up and I was like, never again. Like, I'm fucking done with everything. But the last entity dream I had was during quarantine, and I ate 25 grams of mushrooms when I was wasted.
Kidding.
Yes,
are you serious?
The worst. Yeah, bro, it was so bad. I'm drunk, right? And I have a bunch of rules. Like, I only take mushrooms by myself. I fucking meditate. I fast that day. I have all these rules, and I broke all of them. And I'm wasted.
You ate 25 grams while you were
crazy.
Drunk, almost blacked out drunk.
Dude, you're out of your fucking mind, Davey.
That's wild.
I mean, dude, I'm a real addict. If I go in, I'm going in,
Yeah, I feel that.
So I'm at like 7 grams, and my girlfriend's pleading with me, like, please fucking stop. Like, I'm like, they're not working. But I'm starting to feel sober. I'm like starting not to feel drunk somehow because it's taking over, right? Like the substance has pushed the drunk away, and I'm like, they're not working. And by the time I look at it, the whole fucking ounce is pretty much gone. And my girlfriend's like almost in tears. She's like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. I was like, well, they didn't work. And then all of a sudden, dude, I fucking go outside, look up at the stars, and instantly it was just this fucking story about like how we're the fallen angel, the fucking God is actually like trapped us here. And I look at my girlfriend, she's crying, but I see her laughing. And I'm like, dude, I'm just being a dickhead. It was so bad. And I was like, there's nothing ever good gonna come for this. But then, you know, I ended up tripping for like days on end. Like it was so bad. The next day I heard this song that was literally about some kid like in high school, and I thought it was God talking to me. And this is how I was like, okay, I can be crazy. Like, and this is what crazy people hear, because the song is not God talking to you at all. It's very fucking silly. But out of nowhere at the very end of the trip that night, I just kept telling my girlfriend, let's make a baby for fucking 15 after I pissed all over the floor and stuff. You know what I mean? She really wanted to make a baby with me. So dude, 15 minutes straight, I'm just saying, let's make a baby. The next day, while I'm still somewhat tripping, she fucking went out and needed like a night out, right? And she came home and we conceived our baby. That's like the trip started making me say, let's make a baby, dude. So my little girl, like the mushrooms, half her dad for sure, like 100%, dude. But yeah, dude, entities wild. All day, man. Yeah, wow. It's weird.
So I mean, you say you went like crazy there, but you're also talking about the fact that like the song sounded like God. Like I feel like I can relate to that experience a little bit.
Telling me I was the devil. Yeah, the song, but it was about like some kid coming out in high school. It was not a song about God or the devil, dude.
Dude, it's so crazy how that happens though. Yeah, it does happen like that. I feel like whenever you're like really tripping deeply, though, I've never done 25 grams of mushrooms, but I feel like
5 grams is as deep as you really can go. Like they say 5 grams because you don't black out, you know.
I've done 10. I've done 10 and it wasn't even as intense as some of my 5 grams.
That's what I'm saying. Sure. That's why Terrence, 5 is the hot spot. How did you guys actually find psychedelics, or how did psychedelics find you? You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, I guess we kind of talked about that a little bit. In the past.
But I mean, this is your dude. You're gonna say the same stories over and over. Just fucking, you know.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Obviously, weed. What's your first trip? Where you're like, this is something.
Well, for me, it was synthetic weed. So I actually had somebody come over and like pretend they were smoking normal weed. I was hanging out with like not a good group of friends. Yeah, exactly. And then, they just invited this random dude over. And then he's like, just like sitting there, like this bong, just like rocking back and forth. And I was like, fuck, this must be like some strong weed. I was like, at the time, I wanted to just like prove myself, like, oh yeah, I can smoke a lot of weed. So I was like, yeah, hand it over. I'll do like the biggest rip I can. And as soon as I did it, I sit back and the guy's just like going all like getting hell excited at the fact that I just did like a massive cone. I'm like, chill out, bro. Like, it's just some weed. And the next thing, like, I'm like looking forward and I just see like these colors start like just like coming out of the walls and they start going into this like circle. I was like, wow, man, this is crazy. I've never seen this before. And just like look up at the moon. And I remember that was just it. It was like, I started seeing myself in the third person completely. Then it was just like going deeper. And I literally was like, I was having thoughts and then I felt like I slipped in the place between thoughts and I couldn't even think anymore. And I just remember seeing like me, I was this little dot and I was like falling to these like flashing colors. And then as soon as like I was just in there, that was it. Complete ego death. I had no idea about anything. And then when I came back into my
weed,
body, fuck, bro. Yeah,
dude,
it was
Australia
nuts.
Fake weed. It sounds fucking terrifying.
Dude, like, I'd say there's 4 synthetic weed trips I've had. Made DMT look like a fart next to an atomic bomb, bro. Like they were ridiculous in their intensity. But yeah.
My girlfriend saw our episode and she goes, he smoked it once and then did it 3 more times.
I know.
I was addicted to it, man. Like it's so addictive.
That's why it's dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I took it. Oh, sorry.
K2?
K2. There you go. That's what it's called here, at least. Some gas stations.
They've got different variants. So they cracked down really hard here. And then they literally just started like making each, like the chemical structure itself, they'd make that illegal. And then we just make a new one. Yeah. And so we just eventually got to like a really fucked up structure, I guess. And that's what I took. But the thing is for me, at the time, I wasn't in a healthy headspace, and I was just like,
no
really,
shamans around either.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So
Unguided.
yeah, I had that experience, and all I knew was that it was way out of what I thought was possible for humans to have, and I was like, I want to know more. Like I don't, and then I had 3 trips that were like mega bad, like just the darkest, worst trips I've ever had.
I only had like 3 good ones. Rarely had a fucking
you have
good
bad
trip.
ones all the time, bro.
If it's not bad, it's not fucking wasn't worth it, you know, for me. Apparently, that's the way I think.
I've never had a super like dark one. And I've done mushrooms hundreds of times.
I have a theory about that. I feel like because you're like you have a fucking very like alpha brain vibe about you. Like I'm a bitch when it comes down to it, dude. Like you could fucking hypnotize me probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like you're like I took a drug. You know, I forget there was a drug.
You need a strong mind to stay positive, I think. Like, luckily, I don't think I've ever had a negative trip off of anything other than synthetic weed. But mushrooms did nearly give me a negative trip. But luckily, it was like after my acid trip where it's like, you can feel however you want to feel. And I like really put that to the test.
Acid has never made me have a bad trip. It's always been so good.
Acid's the best.
Yeah,
Acid's the best if you don't do too much. Yeah. Like acid only becomes a problem when you're like, I know people that have done massive doses of acid and never been the fucking same.
That's so sad. Yeah.
When I do acid, I do like 1 tab and I have the best day of my life.
I like 2 or 3, and that's where I like it. But yeah.
When you say they never are the same, what do you mean?
Oh, dude, like I have one friend who like went into like a 3-year spiral depression. Like bad.
Yeah.
That shit sucks, man.
Did he ever come out of it?
Yeah, he's coming out of it now, but there's still a lot of
And he's lucky.
His whole life
never okay.
Completely like shattered, and like
I know people who like are fucking like going to Harvard and then they fucked with a synthetic drug or something and they were literally never the same. Like their parents dropped them and they're out, that's so scary that like psychedelics. That's why I just hope one day that in America there are psychedelic, like there's shamans, whatever you want to call them, or just guided trips. Like I've done definitely.
That exists.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there.
There's clinics. There's
I want your Blue Cross Blue Shield to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be like that. Like everybody can go trip. But yeah, dude, it almost sounds, because you guys know what salvia is, right?
Yeah.
So I got 99x salvia and like had the whole neighborhood come over and hit it. And like, dude, I fucking ruined. Some people never talked to me again, and rightfully so. This kid was like, dude, you didn't tell me. You said it was like weed. I'm like, no, I didn't. I said it's really strong, like weed. Yeah, dude, I had a friend who smoked it, and he became a peasant back in the day, and he stole a loaf of bread and got his hands chopped off, and he had a wife and kids in this world and everything. And he was like, this was the craziest thing ever that happened to me in my whole life. I was like, is it though, or is this the craziest thing ever? Because even that trip is copying off real life. Like what we're doing is way crazier than any trip we could have, Yeah. So
trip trips like, on the fucking other side of the globe, and we're sitting here.
It's sunny out where he's at, bro.
I know. And by the way, I just gotta say, gentlemen, I haven't stayed up this late in a long time. So
true.
Only for you, fucking.
I love you. I love you, dude.
But Jaret, what was your first psychedelic experience, bro?
The first one was, what's funny is I was bodybuilding. I'm injecting literally needles in my chest every day. In my fucking chest, man. In my arms and in my chest. And then I started smoking weed before my workouts. And so I'm in the gym, I'm injecting, I'm in this dark gym, eating all this food. And like the weed was starting to erode my like illusion, right? Yeah. And then what really set me off the edge was with that LSD trip I met. Oh, I was talking about that on a different podcast, actually. Or did I just talk about it?
You mentioned it. You talked about it a little bit before.
Yeah. I did that. And literally, I did like less than a tab. And I literally just took free time. Wow. We walked around outside all night under the stars and I like took photos and like just had a great time. But that got me super fascinated. And then so with that same friend, a couple weeks later, I did mushrooms for the first time on the beach, and I did about 1.5 grams. and maybe like 2 grams, 1.5 to 2 grams. And I had a really fascinating experience. It exposed a lot of things within me. And during the trip, I didn't understand it, but afterwards, I was so fascinated. Like, I feel like that first trip could have shied people away.
For sure.
It was pretty weird. It was pretty intense. I was telling everybody that I was with, I was like, if I throw my phone in the lake, nothing's like, I'm gonna live, right? Can I throw my phone in the lake? And it was because it was back when I was bodybuilding. And I was so, dude, this was my old Instagram that I deleted. I was so insecure that I was using an app to get likes on my photos.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it was bad, bro. And
oh my God.
So my subconscious, my soul is like, fuck that shit. Throw it in the lake and quit living this lie. Yeah. And then also, that was the one thing. And then another thing is, I kept asking everybody I was with, I was like, do I have a kid? And I couldn't even think of her name. And I don't know if you know, Trip Web, I was 18 when I had my first daughter.
True.
And
it's a sign of ego death, you know?
Yeah. And I was at such this crazy time in my life, and I wasn't spending enough time with her and connecting with her.
That gives me goosebumps.
That came up too. So these two things came up, these huge insecurities in my life. And I remember being so fascinated. I said to my friend, I said, I need you to get me some more of those. And short, man, no kidding, you guys. For the next year, I did mushrooms 3 times a week. And I went so deep, and I did so much inner exploration and like uncovered all these things, and I became a different person, and I owe a lot to the mushrooms, man.
See, that's a healthy deep though. Like 3 times a week, your tolerance starts building up. You're starting to like learn how to work with it. I normally do it once every 6 months, and it's like, hey, let's go fucking die. And it's not good. Like I kind of wish I did like that. But dude, that's insane, because now you're like shedding that version, and now you are now who that version wishes they were at the time, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
You know, you're not buying likes, dude. You can't even stop the likes, dude. You can't pay to stop them.
I look back at my old life, and it's not even the same person, man.
Oh, it's dude. Like, a couple years is weird.
It is a whole nother person, man. I'm super grateful. There's no one on earth I'd rather be than myself. I think
that's a good thing.
Shit. I love being me, man. I love being me. It just goes back to owning and fully embodying your experience. Feels really good.
Yeah. Is it the mushrooms that kind of got you on that? Like, obviously they kickstarted it, but you were saying you're doing it like 3 days a week. Was that like for you, working for you? Like, is that something you'd even like potentially recommend in the future?
I don't know if I'd say follow your intuition with it, but you know what's funny is I look back at that, and even during that, so I've been broke my entire adult life until now, except for one other time in early 2020. I made a fuckload of money. I became a real estate agent, and I was selling on Amazon, and I made a shitload of cash, and I blew all of it on designer. My dog. Dude, designer shoes, designer clothes, gold chains, new car. And during this time, I'm doing mushrooms every day. So I wasn't that fucking enlightened, right? I'm still doing all this dumb shit. And then what actually really changed me the most, this is what's crazy, is ultimately doing all the mushrooms and stuff led me to discovering the Wim Hof breathing method.
Wim Hof, dude.
That is what changed my life. That is the single thing that turned everything around for me. That was like a huge turning point for me.
Yeah, that's insane. I've tried breathing methods a few times. I can't say I really felt much from it. Like I've done it like where I've got like pins and needles and stuff, but I don't know. I know people.
Have you done ice baths?
never tried
that you gotta do it where it forces you, and I feel like that helps a lot.
True.
Yeah, man.
True.
You're missing out, bro. You're missing out. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking beta. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? Everybody discovers their method, and then they just project that onto everybody. It's like, you gotta do this. Like, it's like with the meat thing. It's like, no, dude, people are doing good. Like,
don't follow me. Follow anybody, not me, bro.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
I tell people, dude.
Right. Everybody's got their own process and their own things that work for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the best way. It really isn't the substance that gets you, because, you know, I was a fucking drug addict doing mushrooms as well. And then it wasn't until like I found, comedy introduced me to psychedelics. And I always thought if I stopped doing drugs, I wouldn't be funny. I don't know why. You know how you just have shit that's like holding you in a certain way?
Yeah.
And then it's like I found Terrence McKenna and Alan Watts, and I was like, oh, these guys fucking get it. Because I had already tripped balls and with I don't know what all this is. And I'm like, oh, these dudes have been there and they have fucking explanations for entities and past, like, and it really is. It's always like these, I don't know. I feel like you should get a mentor, even if it is something like not me, but you should get a mentor that like is like Wim Hof. Dude has a crazy fucking life.
Right.
You mean like somebody to,
you know, we never met, but he did mentor me. You know, I consumed everything he was saying, and I took on that energy. Yep. And I adopted that, and I think that's what's kept. That's what's Wim is a perfect example of the masculine side of spirituality. I mean,
he's feminine engulfment.
Oh man,
like so loving.
Yeah, he's so loving and so kind and gentle, but at the same time, he can fucking switch. And I've seen him when he had Yes Theory and all these guys come to his place, and man, like. He got intense, bro. He woke them up one morning and he said, now is the time we shut the fuck up and we go up the mountain. And they're like, we don't have the training. And he's like, shut the fuck up.
He's like, no shoes either.
Like, dude, like, and I resonate with that energy. And so he, you know, obviously I went deep into Ram Dass too. But you know, like I really resonated with that masculine energy of Wim, and that breathing exercise and the cold therapy changed everything for me.
Fuck, bro. Maybe I need a mentor. Like, honestly, I feel like so often, you know, like I like it without it in the sense that you can kind of get to know yourself. Like my psychedelic journey was definitely very like isolated, I guess, because I didn't have many people who were, you know, into tripping for like those sort of reasons. Yeah.
Same.
But also, eventually discovered, you know, McKenna and stuff like that as well. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, the problem with like following it is obviously you get informed and stuff like that. So it's hard to know what's yours and what's you just like following. But at the same time, I get bogged down with so much like fucking doubt, man. Like it's ridiculous. Like I've got my mind racing too often, just like second guessing everything I do. Is that what you feel like a mentor? You reckon?
Dude, things like the Wim Hof method, for example, eliminate that shit, bro. Because listen, in order to really, I feel like, integrate the awarenesses that you come to in the psychedelic realm, you have to have some kind of practice. And I watch myself thinking I'm all high and mighty, and I quit doing my practice, and I started getting lost in those mind loops. But when you do that, when you wake up every morning and you totally reset, you reset this every morning. If you just did 3 rounds of the Wim Hof method and a cold shower, you totally reset everything, and your mind, body, and spirit come into more of an alignment in just 30 minutes. And you can start making less doubtful decisions.
And the best part about that is like the cold shower was my first like real test, because like that's practical, right? You go in, I'm not gonna be able to do this fucking cold shower. You know, it's actual and there's a physical thing to it, and then you do it and you're like, fuck, man. But here you are tripping your balls off, trip whip, and people are like, I could never do that. They have doubt in that sense, you know. It's just like he said, man, honestly, the cold and the heat, that will teach you some shit, and you actually have to do it. And then you're like, fuck, I did it. You're like, I could have went longer.
And the breath.
Oh yeah, it's so funny that the breath is a fucking like that's forbidden knowledge. Fucking go stand in the grass, fucking get some sun and breathe. Like, oh really? Like, it's we're fucking going. It's so fucking mind.
Those three things you just said though are staples of my life.
Staples, right when I wake up.
Yes.
What is it? Is it like mindfulness? Is it like making you present, or is it like the breathing is doing something else?
It's just overcoming here, I think. For me, it is.
Yeah, you're getting out of the mind. You're getting out of the mind, and it's bringing you. You're focusing on the breath, which gets you out of the thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck yeah. All right.
Like you could go run 10 miles right now, even if you don't think you can. You know, you can. Like we can overcome this human body so easy. Yeah. So it's the same. But the cold fucking hurts, man.
Yeah, I've tried it a few times, bro. And I'm like, man, there's got to be another way to get motivated other than this. Yeah.
Like, is this what it's really gonna take?
Yeah.
Hey, not to totally switch gears here, but this is something I've been super fascinated with. I want to know what it's like in Australia.
Like, what do you mean?
Kangaroos.
Like when 2020 fucking happened, bro. I mean, the shit I was seeing about Australia, it seemed like fucking.
Can you leave your house, bro?
like you were literally locked out.
We talked about this already. It's super chill.
It was so funny. Like me and my girlfriend saw like in America there was like protests for Australia, and we're like sitting there. We're like, oh yeah, COVID's going on. Like I totally forgot about that. Like it was wild. Like you guys were getting obviously some bad reports of us. I think it's different. I live in West Australia. West Australia apparently was the most like harsh lockdowns and shit like that in the world. And I heard Melbourne.
This tripping doesn't even know what happened.
Bro, honestly, it wasn't for us. 2020 was easy. Like I'm not traveling a lot. You know, I think if I was somebody who traveled a lot, maybe it would have been an issue, but life was completely the same otherwise. In Melbourne, you know, I saw Tom, the YouTuber. He was going to a lot of protests. He was saying that some fucked up shit was happening, but like, you know,
and maybe it was to him. Maybe it was in his area, you know?
Yeah, you know, it probably was. But like over here, we were just watching videos of America. You know what I mean? That's
and we were watching videos of you. That's how fucking propaganda works.
Exactly. That's what they do. They're like, it's okay here. Look how bad it is over there. At least it's not that bad. You guys were in
camps, dude. You guys were about to get fucking
right. We weren't.
They were like, they don't have guns. They don't have guns. They can't protect themselves. Like, oh no.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're like looking over there. America, they've got guns. Like, this is terrible. This is dangerous now. Fucking. Yeah. Literally, we were seeing.
Man. Yeah, dude, that's so crazy. Nice. You guys don't. So, do you know anybody who owns a weapon?
No.
He's like a fucking.
No.
Maybe. I think I might know one person. I know one person has a gun. Yeah.
I don't know someone who doesn't have a gun.
Dude, I know. That is crazy, bro. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a different world.
I got a strap under my fucking bed right now. Like,
do you think what's your opinion on it? Because like Australia, obviously that's like the life we live. So I like, there's like shootings in schools and shit. Why don't they get rid of the guns? But then it's also so like deeply embedded in your culture. It's like, who are they going to be taking the guns
America's
from? Like,
different.
Because here's the thing. In other countries, they can walk into your house and fucking arrest you. They can fucking lock you down, do whatever they want to you, bro.
We have an army.
That can never happen in this country, bro.
Unless we let them.
There's more guns in Texas than like
the whole fucking
the
Australia
Canadian army,
yes,
bro.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm so glad you knew that.
I mean, bro, listen, here's the thing. I'm well aware the American army has the arsenal. They could mow us down if they wanted to, but they'll never take away our freedom. You can kill me. You can fucking kill me. Yeah. I'm fine with you killing me, but they won't take away our freedom, bro. And that's
the fucking Chinese commander. He always says like, you can never invade America because behind every like piece of grass is an AR. And he's like, and the thing is, dude, the government did try to push some Texan people back to like do a pipeline, and the fucking people won. They're like, no, we have rocket launchers too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
how did you
That's
guys get
wild.
drones? Like, fuck,
Dude, it's epic
Yeah.
shit. I love it. I fucking love it, man.
The whole school shooting thing is a fucking tragedy, but it needs
It
to be
is, yeah.
fixed on a psychological level, and there has to be a better outcome. The thing is, we have a fucking democracy, and Republicans and Democrats who are fighting for guns and against guns. So a big conspiracy that I've been hearing lately, because I fucking know people who watch Alex Jones, but the amount of ammo that they use in these school shootings is like $70,000-$80,000, and it's almost like there's no way these kids could afford that. So say if you fucking want guns to go away, you go pay someone to fucking shoot something up, and then now you have your case made. I'm not saying that's happened. YouTube,
That's
please
pretty,
ignore us.
oof. That's pretty
That's the
intense.
kind of shit we deal with all day, man.
But and school shootings though, like
Fuck,
of
so
course,
heartbreaking.
tragic,
That's
awful.
fucked, bro. Yeah.
But it's such like the media like it's such a
they push it.
small,
Of course.
small, small thing, bro.
My girlfriend's like, we can't send our kid to school. I'm like, hey, turn off fucking the news, man.
Yeah, like it's like dude,
Pistols kill way more people.
bro, there's like accounts you can follow on Instagram, and you'll see every single day in this country somebody goes to shoot up a mall, and an armed citizen pulls their gun
Pops
out
him.
and fucking ends that motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it's like, listen, here's the thing: if you ban guns,
That's wild, though.
I know, but it's the wild fucking West.
It
over
is,
here,
bro. That's legit the Wild West. That's insane.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
Japan has no guns, and some guy made a gun and killed their president. The cops
Right.
don't have
Oh,
guns
really?
there.
Well, dude,
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
the thing:
A cop
if
shooting
you
guns, though.
ban guns, if America right now was like, okay, no more guns, it's like saying no more coke. Fucking El Chapo's still out here fucking slinging coke, bro.
Yeah.
And
It's
we
like-
tried to do this.
The
We tried
bad
to
guys are
fucking
gonna
ban
have
alcohol.
The guns are in this country for good. Never have, never
Forever.
changing. There's more guns than there are people, and it's not even close. And like, why would you like? So you can't disarm the good guys, because then it's just the bad guys with fucking guns.
And our
Sure.
government's fucking terrifying, dude. You know?
Yeah, man,
True.
I'll stay strapped forever. I'm only adding more to the arsenal.
I know,
True.
dude. Sometimes, yeah, my girl's like, why does this one look like you're level 50 in Call of Duty? I'm like, shut up.
Have you ever
Is
shot
it-
a gun, Trip Whip?
Yeah, I've shot my a few guns in my friend's range. It was pretty fun.
So you guys can still have ranges?
A range, like a farm.
Oh.
Yeah. Plus, I used to live in a country town, so
Country people don't give it up.
exactly. I'm sure they all had guns, and like it was just like.
Well,
I
you guys
moved-
hunt though. I'm fucking getting confused now. You guys hunt?
What do you mean? Like over in the country town,
He's
or-
like, no, we don't hunt
What-
like animals, like wild game.
Oh no, not really. Like that's not really a thing.
Wow, dude, I
Yeah.
shot my first deer at 11 years old.
Oh my god.
that's not over here. That's just not.
I might
my
be a
other
meat
culture.
eater, but I'm such a bitch. My cousin went to go shoot the deer, and I said, "Run, deer!" And I've never. fucking... He was like, "You do not come with us."
I'm gonna slap you.
But that's the thing, man. I feel like because in Australia, hunting is such a weird thing. When I was like young, I was like, no, hunting's
What?
so evil. But then I'd go into the shopping center, buy a steak, and just eat it. And it's like definitely.
There
I
is,
feel
like-
like if you're eating meat, you should be able to kill an animal.
You have a famous hunter. I think Joe. He's always on Joe Rogan. He's like, "We got to go to Australia." So there's something. Maybe there's a license way.
Look, yeah, you got to have a license because you got to have a license to have a gun. You know what I mean? So like, obviously, it happens. I know people who do hunt. Like over in Queensland, we got wild boar, and
The best.
yeah, you need to hunt them. Some people hunt buffalo in the middle of Australia, but like,
Damn.
it's really rare. Like, it's like I live in the city, so it just doesn't
It's
happen.
like a rich person thing. Maybe.
Opposite.
No.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Everything's backwards over there, dude. You guys are upside down.
Yeah, man, Australia is so interesting, man. I've always, my whole life, I've been fascinated with it.
Same.
Hey,
I used to
not believe it was
come
real.
down to Australia, boys. I'll show you around.
Dude, Davey, me and you need to go and fucking,
For real. Dude,
dude.
what's funny though, like to me, it's like they're not open to go. But yeah, obviously we gotta fucking find out our own truth about this. I'd be down. Me
Have you ever
and
been to America?
Yeah, like when I was young, like when I was 5 and 10, I went to America.
Where'd you go?
I went to when I was 5, I went to Los Angeles, and then
Oh,
when
yeah.
I was 10 and 11, I went to San Francisco. I know I went to Canada for a bit. I can't remember where in America I went. I know it was mostly Canada, but at least San Francisco, Los Angeles. Never been to New York though. Yeah,
Canada's pretty much America, just a cold version.
I
It's
love
just
Canada.
more
It's
fucking
sick.
dictatorship.
I live 30 minutes from Canada. I could fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jared's really close too.
I could hop on my fucking dad's boat and zip across the lake and be in Canada.
Sick.
Yeah, and no one's gonna stop you over there. Even if they have guns, they don't know how to use them. Dude, we were telling Trip what we were saying. Me and Dakota were saying we should like all actually plan, like, because I'm trying to be sober for as long as I can, but I do want to break it with ayahuasca. So I would love to go to like all of us meet somewhere in the world where it's not gonna break everybody's fucking soul.
Bro, I'm resistant to the idea of doing ayahuasca, man. I don't know
Dude,
what
you've
it
done
is, bro.
Fake weed, bro. You're fine.
I don't know, bro.
That's interesting. Based on your, your trip whip.
Yeah, bro.
I
I
know.
gotta edit that out.
Listen, I feel like, it's cliche, but like, if I ain't getting called to do a drug, I don't do a drug, and I was never, two things I was never called to do was salvia and ayahuasca. I was called for everything else, just not those
I've
two
mentioned
drugs.
them both.
Yeah.
Better not fucking meet me, dude.
Yeah. I feel like if it was back in the day, I for sure would have done them, but I just, I trip pretty rarely now, to be honest. Honestly, man, I got to overcome some fear. Like, it's weird. Like, I just don't I get resistance to having major trips
psychedelics
anymore.
fuck you up. Dude, so I was going to actually mention this earlier. I used to not be afraid of death at all. When I was a carpenter, I'd walk on the side of buildings, get yelled at by my foreman, like in the snow, just not give a fuck, and be like super stupid in my car back in the day. But now that I had a kid, dude, it's like back. I'm like, oh, fuck this existence. One day I'm never going to see him again. Like, dude, and it starts. I'm like, fuck, dude, I got to trip again soon.
Yeah, it's just weird because I didn't even have a bad experience. Like my tripping, the only bad experiences I had synthetic weed, which was the first trips I ever had. And then they just kept getting better and better. The last few trips I've had were amazing, but I just don't like,
I mean, for you, it's content, even though, like, I'm not saying like, oh, go trip on ayahuasca for content, but I kind of am, dude.
I know. I'll fucking do it. Like,
Dakota's ready to eat fucking mushrooms out of shit, dude. So you gotta.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He doesn't care where he's at.
Dude is living life eating elephant poop mushrooms. That's so gross. That's as good as
like anything
human.
for YouTube. I love that kid so much.
Yeah,
that shit is too good.
But yeah, man, like that'd be cool to fucking, like I said, I don't really fit in. I got accepted into Aubrey Marcus's little fucking I don't know what it is. One of Dakota's friends have been trying for 3 years. I typed in one resume and instantly got accepted.
What is it?
It's
fit for service or whatever.
Fit for service, yeah. Like, so they used to charge people $2,000, and I don't know. The next one's on my girlfriend's birthday, so I kind of want to go check it out. But like, that's the fucking realm I don't fit in. Like, I fit in with like people like you guys. You know what I mean? I feel like I could hang out with you guys and have nothing to do with psychedelics and still hang out with you.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But
totally.
like, what am I gonna paint my fucking self and dance? Like, dude, you know?
Well, what is the thing?
I mean, I will.
Yeah.
It's pretty much an EDM thing meets like speakers meets like.
Okay.
They call it connecting, aka people that don't know how to fucking talk to people, look them in the eyes, and all of a sudden they can.
$2,000.
No, it's free now. It's it's donation because Aubrey Marcus just became a fucking $200 million heir, whatever that is. He has a space program coming. He's gonna be flying people to space for 50,000, dude. This is such a trip.
All right, well, we got 5 minutes left. I know it's super late for you boys. So yeah, it's been a pretty good podcast. I feel like we could just keep going, but
dude,
it always feels like that.
Night, but we'll do it again soon.
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
I want to have you guys on mine.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Yeah.
And then I guess I'll fucking start back up. No, for real though, I'm down. We should make because I've noticed like comedians, they always have like a little group that like, oh, this person reappears. And that'd be cool if we had like a little, even all across the world, tight knit group, you know.
We could do it weekly.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
We're gonna have to stay up late. He's gonna have to
need more content,
get up early.
Yeah.
I need more content too. We all do. So
yeah. I mean, and you guys definitely, like, I was really excited for you guys to meet because you guys both are like TikTok boys, I call you. I'm just kidding. But,
Yeah. Hey, it's funny
no,
though.
like
Oh, it's
you're
cool
actually
that we
killing it on
actually
TikTok.
just met.
It's awesome. Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah.
dude, popping up on
Maybe,
each other's feed.
I want to hear about the dream you had about me, bro.
Oh, bro, dude. So we got enough time. It's not. I'm like we were dancing. No, I'm kidding. So
We're
I've been
dancing.
ever since I was a little kid, dude. I used to have like fucking horrible dreams. Like it was a struggle for my parents. I would like stare up at the ceiling and see like which dream I was gonna go into. Me and my girlfriend, every single night we dream. Sometimes it's exhausting, and I'll tell a joke at the end of this. I got 3 minutes. Okay, so one thing I notice is like people don't know how to dream, and there's this thing where you can knock on a door and say, "Am I awake?" and open it up and walk through over and over and over. And I have night terrors. Like, to be honest, pretty scared of the dark. I'm a bitch. But like I will wake up and run to the light. My girlfriend's like, God damn it. But but if I'm tripping, it's fine. But yeah, so if I wake up, it's all dark. So I was having like these terrible fucking dreams. And I started doing that. And all of a sudden, if you have a bad dream, you can go through the door, boom. Now when I have a dream with someone, I will leave them my phone number. I'll be like, text me in the morning if you're real. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking out of hand. Like tripping, like my dreams are tripping. Like I call it like dream shamanism because you are tripping, you know? But yeah, dude, I had a dream. Oh, dude, this is what my dream was. We were at like a fucking meeting with like these, they weren't like shamans, but they were just like people we both didn't know. And we were like, they were telling us this like class, all this shit. And we both were like, that is not true. That is not how you do it. And we were teaching this class on how to not take shortcuts in life, but still get there in time. Bro, like, I don't know what that is, but like, that's it's like philosophical in a way. And I was like, damn, dude. I woke up like, I'm not going to take shortcuts no more.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's weird. I mean, it's like, I don't think like, oh, we really fucking met, but like, what do people fucking practice guitar in their dreams? Like,
well, bro, it's practical. We leave the body, we go up in another realm. I'm sure we were hanging out, man. It doesn't surprise me at all. We're connected, bro. Think about it. You see me all fucking day on Instagram. I see you all fucking day on Instagram.
We
like
talk,
that energy is there. Like we're in each other's sphere.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised at all.
No, for sure. It's so funny to think like I might have a fucking dream about trip. Dude, honestly though, this is my fucking joke. I actually had to go to the doctors because I was having like 3 wet dreams a week, bro. I was getting so exhausted. And like, so the doctor goes, he's like, oh, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 32. And he's like, oh, this is supposed to stop at 17. I'm like, it's just getting worse. It's way worse, bro. Dude, it gets to the point like you can cut this off if you want, but it gets to the point where I will wake up, catch it, running to the bathroom. My girlfriend will be like, wet dream again. I'm like, dude, I left the girl my phone number. If she texts us, we know, dude, it's okay. I gotta chill out.
Wow, that's great, bro.
On that note,
awesome podcast, Chip.
Yeah, awesome. I really appreciate you guys coming on, man. It was really good chatting to you both.
Thank you guys for having
absolutely.
me. It was last minute.
It was anyways.
It was awesome, bro. I'm glad we did.
Yeah, let's do it again soon.
Yeah, for sure. I like the sound of that. Right. I've got less than a minute. Take it easy, guys. Get some sleep.
Peace, boys.
Love you guys. Peace out.
Love you, man.
See you, bros.